Greetings carbon-based units, and I hope you're all happy and healthy wherever you are in collecting land, and welcome back to the channel for another episode of Grail or Fail. For the uninitiated, the newcomers to the channel, Grail or Fail is where we revisit a 1/6 scale action figure widely considered to be a classic and find out if it's still worthy of that Grail status today. So today it's not one, not two, but three. Yes, count the fingers, it's three figures, all from EXO-6 and all from the 1979 Robert Wise directed Star Trek The Motion Picture. But before we dive in, I would like to send a refitted Enterprise size shout out to everybody who supported the channel. And please drop a like and hype on this video as it helps other people find Go Figure. And if you haven't already, be sure to mash that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you're not missing any of the 1/6 scale reviews, news, previews, tours, showcases, and all that other good stuff that we've got coming up. So without further ado, let's dive in and find out if the trifecta of Kirk, Spock and Bones are Grails or Fails. So here they are, folks. It's Spock, Kirk and Bones all together, all from EXO-6. But before we dive in and get up close and personal with them, probably worth mentioning at this point, I have been a Trekkie since I could crawl, could walk, could clamber my way into a transporter or pick up a phaser. And yeah, born in the same year that the original TV show was released. When the film was released in '79, yes, I was a little bit disappointed, but I've grown with it and it's grown on me in the years, and I think now it is a cracking film. Yes, it's a little bit overly long and a little bit drawn out and even a little bit pompous in places, but it's still a phenomenal film, and if you haven't seen it, I do recommend that you catch it if you can. So EXO-6, they released, I think it was the Kirk figure. No, I correct myself. It was the Spock figure that was released first. That was released in 21. Then we got the Kirk figure in 22, and finally the Bones in 23. Yeah, let's get up close and personal with these guys. And also worth mentioning as well, before we dive in, Mr. Go Figure is trying out some new lighting. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm seeing how this works out with these with reviews and showcases and Grail or Fail and stuff. So yeah, let me know what you think. Is it too bright? Is it okay? I'll be fascinated to hear your take on it. So who are we going to start with first? Yeah, let's dive in with Spock. Okay, so let's get up close and personal with EXO-6's take on Spock, and we'll start with that stand. We'll start at the bottom as we always do. Well, hang on a second. Let's talk not first impressions, but overall impressions. And I still think, all these years down the line, I think the proportions are absolutely on point. The build is just about perfect. I think they've caught the proportions of Leonard Nimoy exceptionally well. So overall, height-wise and physique-wise, I think they've absolutely nailed it. But yeah, starting with the base. Now, collectors of EXO-6 will recognise this base straight away. It's that hexagon with the removable plastic top, that clear plastic top, and you get the replaceable transporter pads. So if you're wanting to hook all the bases together and create one big transporter, you can do that. And it comes with a standard issue crotch grabber, as do all the figures. Worth mentioning as well is this rather nice Vulcan emblem on the front of the base itself. Now the Spock figure came with this. It's produced by a third-party company, and their name escapes me for the moment. But yeah, it's a metal front there, press fitted to this foam and to a metal back, which clips in to the actual stand itself. And I think whoever the company are, they've done a cracking job with this Vulcan emblem. It's sort of got a silver triangle at the front here, then you've got the circle around the edges there, done in more sort of a brassy gold, and that cut glass emblem in the middle. Lovely rendition of the Vulcan symbol and the Vulcan insignia, and just really, really nicely done. Probably worth mentioning actually, because the other guys are over here. You get one with the Kirk figure, but unfortunately the Mccoy doesn't come with one at all, which is a real shame, because I would have liked to have seen the Mccoy figure maybe with the Starfleet medical emblem as well. But back to Spock. So Proportions, excellent. The body is pretty good. It's not the best body I've ever come across, but it's by no means the worst. The articulation is very, very good. You've got a butterfly joint at the shoulder there. You've got a double bend at the elbow, double bend at the knee. There is a thigh swivel. The ab crunch is really good, and overall articulation is excellent. But it's not really one of those figures that you're going to go for the mad dynamic poses with. But overall, I think they've done a cracking job with the body. Really, it's down to the outfit and that head sculpt. So, boots, sculpted plastic, pretty well done. Not really that much detailing in them because there wasn't in the movie. You've got some sculpted increase work there, which is really nice. No real weathering going on. But yeah, they've got that sort of stacked heel thing going on, and overall, pretty good. But up to the robes themselves. Now, when they first announced this figure and they said that they were going for the collar look, I was a little bit put out. I thought they'd go for the Starfleet uniform look. And I thought it was an odd choice, but it wasn't until I actually got the figure in hand that I realised it does make an awful lot of sense. Even though this particular outfit only appeared in the film for a couple of scenes, I think it makes sense when you put it with the other figures because it gives you that contrast. Probably the same reason why they went with the civvies with the Mccoy figure, but let's talk this robe. Now, relatively simple, but it falls beautifully well. The material itself is sort of well, it feels like, it's not a cotton, it's a man-made material, almost like a nylon, if that makes sense. It is quite thin, as you can see there. If the light's catching that, you can see through it. But it's double layered in a lot of places, so it actually makes sense. It falls very well. The stitch work is excellent. There are no loose threads hanging down. Overall, I think Nanjin Tam and the team over at EXO-6 have done a cracking job. And we all know Nanjin is a stickler for getting those outfits right, and they've pretty much nailed it here. The top itself, once again, is that deep black, but you've got this contrasting highlighted stripe that runs down the pleats at the front there, those uneven pleats. There are certain sections which are longer, which is in keeping with the robe itself and is screen accurate. It's all black, apart from that purple Vulcan lettering down the front and that purple undershirt. Let's spin him around here so we can have a quick look at the back. Where this figure really comes into its own is the fall of this particular outfit. Now, it's got those sort of really long baggy sleeves that we saw in the film there. The pleats underneath are correct. Those highlight stripes are continued underneath there, even though they didn't need to be, they still are. And each of the sleeves on this gown are individually wired, which is great to see. So it's a sort of a medium to thin wire running around the bottom here of both of the hemlines for the sleeves. The flat back is multi-layered, which is great to see. Lesser companies would have just maybe sewn these in or done one with an attached piece at on top of it, but no, it's been properly layered there, and those layers continue up to the shoulders. Down the front, yeah, those layers again, you can see that each one's been done individually, and underneath you can see that sort of lilac purple undershirt that we mentioned. That's done in a similar material, slightly shinier than the black material, but is screen accurate. The color is just right. On to the head sculpt. So let's bring him forward a little bit and take a look at this head sculpt now. Spock head sculpt's not the easiest thing in the world to do. We're going to get that out of the way, and I'll be putting some photographs up in the top left-hand corner throughout this episode of Grail or Fail, so you can make your own decisions, and your own judgments. But I think it is very, very good. Is it 100%? Almost, but not quite. In profile, I think it is absolutely phenomenal. Skin tones and textures, very, very good indeed. Unmistakably Leonard Nimoy, unmistakably Spock. You've got that 5 o'clock shadow going on there, that hint of 5 o'clock shadow, the creasing in the face there, the creasing at the bridge of the nose there, the eyebrows, very well done, and the hair itself is the right shade, is the right style, and individual strands are picked out. The tonal shading on those ears is excellent. Fixed neck head sculpt, this one. So you've got a pretty decent range of motion going on. You've got a side to side, although this one's quite stiff, because I very rarely move his head, but yeah, you've got an up and down and a side to side going on as well. Is it missing? There is something, I would say, just stops it from being 100%. It is 99.9% in my opinion. I think it might be the eyes. They come off as being just ever so slightly too close together, just a smidge, but maybe that's just me. Let me know in the comment section below. But overall, I think it's a cracking head sculpt. Probably up there as one of the strongest of the trio here, but there you have it, folks. That is EXO-6's take on Colin R. Spock. So let's have a look at Bones. Okay, so next up, it is none other than DeForest Kelley as Dr. Mccoy, aka Bones from Star Trek: The Motion Picture, and first impressions, I've got to say, very, very good. Once again, as with the Spock figure, proportions just about nailed on. They've got the height, the build just right, and that body is just as good as the Spock figure as well. Now, I didn't mention with the Spock figure, accessories. You don't get many accessories with these figures. With all three, you just get a base and some swap out hands, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, EXO-6 maybe skimped a little bit on the accessories, but the money's in the figure. That's what I like to think anyway. But let's start at the bottom. So exactly the same stand and crotch grabber that you get with the Spock figure and with the Kirk figure, so no need to cover that. Boots, sculpted plastic boots. This time we've got that tan colour with the stacked heel. And these are really nicely done. Not only have you got creasing in there, they are a hard plastic, but you've also got shading at the front there to give it that extra depth and that extra dimension. But really, it's the outfit. This one, it's the disco McCoy when he first boards the refitted Enterprise, and they've gone for that white jumpsuit. And I think the tailoring here is absolutely excellent. Really, really next level stuff here from EXO-6 and Nanjin and the team there. The material itself it's thicker than the Spock outfit. Obviously it is white, so I will be handling this with caution. Really should have gloves on at this point, but what the hell, I'm throwing caution to the wind. But it's the fit, the finish, the fall, and the stitch work on this outfit that really stand out for me. As you can see, they've caught the creasing absolutely perfectly. The stitch work on that pocket section over the thigh area, absolutely nailed on. The pleats down the front and the creases down the front, they are actually seams, and they're stitched, and they are stitched beautifully. And it just falls amazingly well. The screen accuracy is just there in spades. The hands themselves, they're really, really nicely done. The crease work, the bone work, the vein work, it's the same story with the Kirk figure and with the Spock figure as well. You've even got that sculpted in ring there that he absolutely never took off, had on all the time. There is a story behind that if you're wanting to check it out. I will put up a link to my original series Mccoy review from QMX. Now, talking of QMX, Nanjin Tam used to work for QMX, I believe, and QMX did an original series, Mccoy, and I think that has got one of the best head sculpts of DeForest Kelley I've ever seen. Let's talk head sculpt before we move to the other stuff. Yes, it's strong, it's solid, it's unmistakably Bones, it's unmistakably DeForest Kelley. They've gone for the bearded look, obviously, when he first boards the ship, and they've done a pretty good job. He had a tanned face, and they've caught that in the paint applications really, really well. The eyes are nice and glassy. The beard, the individual strands are picked out. There's white paint applications in there for that aged look. The style is right in that hair. The crease work on the face, very, very good. The eyes, nice and glassy. All positive stuff here. Not fixed neck, this one. For some odd reason, they didn't go fixed neck. I think that's probably something to do with that chest area that we'll get to. Now, to me, and this is just a personal opinion, don't shoot the messenger, I think this is the weakest of the three. As I mentioned there, the QMX Bones figure that came out years and years ago, I think is actually a stronger sculpt than this one. As I say, it's unmistakably Kelly, unmistakably Bones, but there's just something missing there for me, and not 100%. I'm not sure whether it's the eyes, the overall sculpt. I think it is probably the overall sculpt itself, but I think it does start with those eyes. Those eyes aren't 100% accurate for me, although they've caught the colour and the eyebrows and the creasing really, really well. The neck has got some wonderful sculptured in aging in there. You've got sculpted and painted in hairs on that chest, and you've got that wonderful gold and copper coloured medallion as well. So overall, I think, yeah, outfit phenomenal. The shelf presence is there in spades. I just think maybe they missed out a little bit on that head sculpt. Let's take a quick look around the back, just so you can see how well this thing falls. And yeah, as I said, very, very simple, but exceptionally well done outfit. So there you have it, folks. That is EXO-6's take on Bones from Star Trek the Motion Picture. Onwards and upwards, and let's drag out Admiral Kirk. Okay folks, so it's time to get up close and personal with William Shatner, aka Admiral James T. Kirk from Star Trek the Motion Picture. Can't give first impressions, obviously, had this figure since it was released, but I think proportions are absolutely on point. The body itself, really, really well done, the same as the other bodies. The articulation is there. It's just the presence of this figure that I think is exceptionally good, and I think EXO-6 have done a stand-up job here. But let's have a quick look around him. Obviously, that base is the same as the other two that we've already looked at, with the exception of this Starfleet emblem on the front, done in exactly the same way as the Vulcan emblem, only you've got a more sort of brushed metal going on here, which is in keeping with the Starfleet emblem, all done in metal. Looks absolutely stunning. As I said before, just a shame that Mccoy didn't get his version of it. Real shame that, but overall, yeah, it just adds that extra dimension to the base itself. Standard issue crotch grabber. Let's talk uniform now. I think EXO-6 have done a cracking job with this uniform. We will we'll put to bed that old debate. Now, as before, I'll be putting pictures in the top left-hand corner here so you can do your own comparisons. There was much debate about this uniform. Now, it depended on what you were watching it on, whether you were seeing this movie in the cinema, whether you were watching it on VHS, whether it was DVD, Blu-ray, streaming service. The colour could change with this on this outfit. Now, as mentioned before, Nanjin Tam and the team over at EXO-6 are sticklers for getting these uniforms right, and this is the right colour. And I hope it's coming off in this lighting correctly, and it's sort of an olive green. Now, in some versions of the movie it looked more blue, others it looked more grey, but this is actually the correct colour for the uniform. It's sort of as I say, an off olive green. But yeah, it looks absolutely stunning. And the first thing I noticed about this uniform is just the smoothness. Now, if you've seen the movie, you know it was 1979. These uniforms were super smooth, although the cast were not happy wearing them. Apparently they were super uncomfortable, not the easiest things in the world to wear, but I think EXO-6 have done a cracking job of capturing this suit. The material that they've used here, now, it's different to the other two, where you have that man-made fibre in the McCoy and the Spock figure. I think this could still be a man-made fibre, but this one has got a weave in it. Now, if the light's catching that, you might be able to pick out the weave in there. It's got this sort of striation weave going on, which I'm no textile expert, so if I've just made that up, please ignore me. But yeah, overall the material looks phenomenal, even down to that beautiful weave in there. Stitch work, as with the other two, can't be faulted, as you can see down the hemline of those pants there. Beautifully done. Let's start with these boots. Sculpted plastic, as with the other two, really nicely done. Crease work in there, that olive green colour with the stacked heel. You've got this cutout section at the bottom of the pant area there, which is screen accurate. And as you can see, the fit, the fall and the finish are phenomenal, capturing that super smooth look. The tunic itself, with that white flash up the front, beautifully done. Once again, stitch work is impeccable. You've got the bio monitor around the stomach area there, the abdomen area. That's done in sculpted plastic. Looks really effective. And the stitch work here, as you can see, all around that white flash on the chest and the abdomen is great. Stitch work up the sides there, great. We'll flip him round here. I've got him in this sort of arms crossed with his hands behind his back, because I just think that is so iconic, and it looks great. The flashes on the end of the sleeves there, really nicely done. Back in the QMX days, these had a tendency to come off. I think these are some form of screen printing, maybe heat printing. As I say, no textile expert, but they're not coming off, and I don't think they ever will. And they've got that super shiny gold color as well. And the stitch work up those sleeves is just exemplary, as it is on that beautiful high collar there. You've got the flashes on the shoulders, really nicely done. They're material, they're not plastic, they're not stuck on, they're stitched on there. You've got the Starfleet emblem on the chest, really nicely done. Only small, only plastic, but it's positioned well and it looks really, really good. On to this head sculpt. Now, I'm going to say from the get-go here, I think this is a cracking head sculpt. Unmistakably William Shatner, unmistakably Admiral Kirk from the '79 movie. Is it perfect? Not 100%. No, it's not 100%, but damn is it close. I think it is very, very good indeed. Skin tones, skin textures, excellent. The crease work in there, very, very good. There's a sort of hint of 5 o'clock shadow, but very, very little indeed. The eyes are the right colour and super glassy. The hair, now, this is probably one of my minor niggles with this figure, and it's just a personal thing. I think they've overdone it with the gold in this hair. Now, to me, the hair was a bit darker than this, and I think they've just got a little bit paint happy with the gold highlights in the hair. It's down to the lighting. If you light it right, you can lose all of that gold look. The style itself is excellent, really, really good, with the individual strands picked out. Those sort of sharp V-shaped sideys going on are all excellent. So the sculpt itself is not the problem. I would have just been perhaps been a little bit less inclined to use as much gold in there, but that's a minor niggle. I think overall the head sculpt itself is very, very good. If not 100%, it's probably 95 for me. Fixed neck head, this one as well, so you've got the full range of motion going on there. A little bit stiff as well, this one, because I hardly ever move the head. Pretty much keep him in this or similar positions most of the time. So there you have it, folks. That's Admiral Kirk from the trifecta of Star Trek the Motion Picture. So time to go in for a final verdict on these three guys and find out if these three are Grails or fails. Okay, folks, so it's verdict time on EXO-6's take on the bridge crew of the refitted Enterprise from the motion picture. Good stuff. Uniforms, absolutely on point. All three of them. Well, I say uniforms, outfits. I think really stands out for me here is the quality of the materials used, the screen accuracy, the stitch work, all absolutely nailed on. Bodies really good. The articulation, I can't complain. There's no janky bodies here, no super stiff limbs. All poses are easily maintained, and yeah, bodies are excellent. Maybe EXO-6 could have given us a little bit more when it comes to accessories. All we get is swap out hands with these. I would have liked to have seen the odd phaser, maybe a tricorder or two, something along those lines, but it is what it is. Loving those bases. Mentioned those emblems, that Vulcan and that Starfleet emblem before. Just a pity McCoy didn't get one. But overall, yeah, the fit, the finish, the fall of the uniforms, the bodies, all outstanding. Head sculpts, very good. All of them are exceptionally good. Probably the weakest of the three, I would say, is the McCoy. That's the one there that probably falls down just a little bit more than the other two. Are they perfect? No, they're not perfect, but they are very good indeed. And I think you know where this is going, folks. And this is a personal thing, and I am biased because I absolutely love Star Trek and love the movie. But I'm gonna say these are Grails. as three, not necessarily individually, but as a representation of Spock, Bones and McCoy from Star Trek the Motion Picture. I don't think we are likely to see anything better than this. So for me, yes, they are Grails. I know they probably aren't for some people out there, but for me personally, they're going to get a thumbs up, and these are Grails. They're not without their faults, don't get me wrong. I think those head sculpts could be better, and some of the paint applications could be better, but I think as a centerpiece to my 6-scale Star Trek collection, I think they're superb, and they are absolute Grails. So there you have it, folks. It's a massive thumbs up for the three from the Star Trek the motion picture. They are coming in as Grails. But what are your thoughts on these three figures? Are you a Star Trek fan? Are you a fan of the 79 movie? Are you a fan of EXO-6? Am I getting this completely wrong? Are these flops and fails? Let me know in the comment section below. I would be fascinated to hear your take on these three figures. And I suppose that about wraps it up for this episode of Grail or Fail, folks. What have we got coming up on the channel? Well, we've got a raft more episodes of Grail or Fail. Obviously, we've got plenty more reviews coming up of new figures. We've got stuff from Hot Toys, In Art, Susu Toys, Present Toys, obviously EXO-6, Iconic Studios, the list goes on. We've got more previews, reviews, news, tours. We've got a big tour video coming up very, very soon, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, if you haven't already, please mash that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you're not missing anything. And I suppose all that remains for me to say is a massive thank you for watching as always. I'm from myself, from Bones, from Kirk and from Spock. A massive thank you for watching as always. And until next time on the channel, take care of yourselves, happy collecting, and it's over to the showcase.